Welcome back to digital class, and this is a discussion for our ways of reproduction in plants. So, in simple, we have two things here. The first one is non-flowering plants, and second one is flowering plants. And each of these different types of plants use different ways to reproduce. So, non-flowering plants use spores, reproduce by spores. On the other hand, flowering plants reproduce by seeds. So, these are the two main ways of reproduction in plants. First one and the second one. And now let's focus on the non-flowering plants first. So for non-flowering plants, especially we have these ferns, we have mosses. And since we're talking about spores, it's important for us to understand that these spores usually found on the underside of the leaves. As you can see this picture here, this is fern plants, and underside of the leaf you can find these little spores, okay? And these spores are usually tiny and light. Why? Because it can carry by wind easily, okay? And this reproduce by spore is something we known as one of the asexual reproduction methods. Okay, asexual reproduction basically means there's no like male or female. Okay, now let's look at the second one, which is the flowering plants, which reproduce by seeds. Okay, now first thing we understand that these seeds is actually found in the fruit, and this fruit is actually developed from flower. Again, the fruits that we eat is actually developed from a flower. Okay? And when we talk about flower, it's also something very important to learn that there are actually two the main types of flowers, the bisexual flower and unisexual flower. So what's the difference? So bisexual flowers means that it's actually one flower, but this one flower has both the male and female parts in it. Okay? On the other hand, unisexual flower is male and female parts. They are on separate flowers. Okay? So as we can look at the example here, so for bisexual, we have lily, we have tomatoes plants. For unisexual, we have like papaya, we have watermelon. Okay? So these are the different types of flowers. And when we talk about flower, it's actually very important to know some of the reproductive parts. Okay? So let's scroll down and look at here. So now we are focusing on the bisexual flower. So this is actually a flower. And again, this is the male part. This is the female part. So male parts, we have actually two main ones. The first is the anther. This is the one. And the next one is the filament. So this is the one. And it's very, very important for you to remember the function of the anther, which is to produces and stores pollen grains. Okay, as you can see, this is a pollen grain, which will be transferred into the female part. Okay, and the female parts we have four. The first one is the stigma. Second one is the star. Next one is the ovary, which is this whole thing, and ovule, which is the small little dots here. Okay, now just want to let you know that when these pollen grains transfer from anther to the stigma, is something we call as pollination, which is something we will learn in the next part of the next video, okay? But I just want to add on here to say that these pollen grains actually contain male reproductive cells, okay? Reproductive cells. And this ovule actually contain the female reproductive cells, okay? Which you will actually learn even more in the next video, but I just want to let you know, okay? So this video in simple is an introduction about non-flowering plants, but for the next whole part of this chapter or this booklet under reproduction in plants, we will focusing on the flowering plants, okay? So I hope you learned something today and see you in the next video. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.